welcome back to another episode of The Casey Way. In today's episode, I want to give you a quick van update. So I want to kind of let you know where we're at with the van. If you listened to our previous episode on I bought a van, which I did, or you watched any of my Instagram videos, you will see that I have bought myself this beautiful big Mercedes Sprinter van, which we are busy converting to a home on wheels. And the plan is to travel all around Australia. I am a digital nomad. I have a business that runs from my laptop, so it will give me the freedom to be able to go and travel all around Australia and run my business from my laptop, and just have an absolute blast. So I'll give you a bit of an update on where we are. So the original plan was to leave by January. Original plans always get thrown out the window. Anyway, January's been pushed back to February. February has now been pushed back to March and possibly even a little bit later. And this is why. So by January, the van just is not ready yet. We've been waiting for parts to arrive. We've been waiting for things to arrive. We've run into a ton of challenges. Like, we've never built a van before. Like, we have no idea what we're doing. Thank goodness my dad is the handiest man on the planet. He is an absolute rock star when it comes to building things and being creative, and it's just looking phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out on my Instagram yet, make sure you do. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, again, if you didn't know that I do film all my podcasts and post them to YouTube, on the YouTube video, I will start posting like a couple of like progress pictures while like this podcast is playing. So if you want to check it out on YouTube, please feel free to do that. But where we're at. So at this point, we have got the kitchen in. The kitchen is in. It is done. We've got the kitchen sink in. I'm picking up the tap for the actual kitchen sink on Wednesday. So tomorrow, Wednesday. So we've got the tap for the kitchen sink. The cupboards are done. I've got lots of storage space in the cupboards. I've got under cupboards and drawers. We've got overhead cupboards. We've also got like a beautiful splashback. We've done the cladding on the wall. The bed is in. We've actually got a king-sized bed in the back of the van. Now, this is where things change all the time. So when I originally planned out the van, there was a certain way that I planned it. And we've had to pivot. We've had to change ideas. We've moved where the bathroom's going to be. We've moved where the seating's going to be. We've moved how big the bed is. Like we bought a bed and we fitted it in like across the van so that you're laying like from like your head to toe is like literally directly across the van. However, I just wasn't comfortable doing that, and I'm short and I still wasn't comfortable. So I was like, well, if I ever have a friend come travel or my parents want to take it away for a while, I just don't think they'll be comfortable. So we've changed that. We've actually turned it so it's lengthways, so your head sleeps by the door and your feet hang like towards like where the cab is, like towards the kitchen. And that way we've been able to fit a king-size bed in that. But it did mean then that we lost the seating option that I really, really wanted there. So things have been having to shuffle and change all around all the time. But basically where we're at now is the roof is done, the cupboards are done, the kitchen is done, the bed is done. Now we just need to do the bathroom and the plumbing. So we need to do the plumbing for the kitchen, and then we need to build the bathroom because I'm having a full shower, toilet, bathroom unit in the van. But we've kind of left it to last because it's going to be, you'll have to see the photos on my Instagram to kind of follow along with this. But it's going to be like, as you walk in the doorway, it's going to be on the left-hand side, like on the right-hand side. Oh my gosh, look at me, on the right-hand side. So as you walk, the cab is on the left, because we're in Australia, and and everything else is going to be on the right-hand side, but it takes up a fair bit of room. So we wanted to get everything else done before we put the bathroom in. So that's kind of all we have to go. We've got the bathroom to do, the kitchen plumbing to do, and then under the bed, we're going to have this whole because there's huge amount of storage space under the bed. We're going to have this like big pull-out like kitchen unit. So anybody that has seen like van life videos or anything like that, we're doing that pull-out kitchen unit where I'm going to have like a gas barbecue. I'll have all like my pots and pans and stuff, so that if I don't want to cook in the van, which most of the time I won't want to, we don't have a cooktop in the van. We've just got an electric or a little gas cooktop for inside the van. But most of the time I will just go behind and pull the kitchen out, provided that the weather is great. Pull the kitchen out from under the bed, and then I'll be able to have like a barbecue and have all of my stuff in there as well. So we've still got to do that, which shouldn't take too long. And then we're waiting on parts to arrive so that we can make the passenger side seat like a swivel seat, so that from the cab you can either face out the front window or you can turn it and face into the rest of the van. And then my dad came up with an amazing idea recently, because I was like, okay, I've lost my seating, where the bed is. We've extended the bed, so I've lost my seating. So I'm like, now what am I going to do? What if it's raining outside and I need to do work on my laptop? Like, I don't want to sit on the bed the whole time because I'll get lazy and I'll want to take a nap all the time. And it's also not very good for your posture. So I was like, I need a seat. So he's building me a desk that's going to come out like halfway into the doorway, because you don't need much space to come into the doorway. But that way I'm going to be able to like sit at my desk, looking out the door. I can park it in a beautiful place, and I'll be able to like sit and do my work or do my coaching calls, and be able to have this like beautiful view in front of me, provided, it's not raining or anything like that. And if it is, I can close the door and I can still sit and look out the window, because there's a big window on the door. So I'm super, super excited about that. So it is coming together very, very soon and very, very quickly. Just a couple more things to kind of get sorted. Now, with my travel plans, a lot of people are asking me, like, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Now, the original plan was, if I left in January, so where I am, I'm in a town called Port Macquarie. If you kind of cut Australia in half and you go all the way to the East Coast, we're kind of like halfway. We're about a 4-hour drive north of Sydney, and from Brisbane and Gold Coast, we're about a 5-hour drive south. So just to give you an idea, for those of you that are in Australia, for me to get to the top from where I am right now, for me to get from here to like the top of Australia would be like a 40 to 50-hour drive. Like, that's how far it is. Like, Australia is just like stupid big. And as much as I want to go north, everybody said don't go in January because it's too hot. It's like their hottest season and their wettest season. And they're like, you just won't have a good time. So the plan was to go south and, go through Sydney, spend some time with my brother and my nephew and my sister-in-law in Sydney, then like hug the coast and see more of like, southeast of Australia, because I've never seen down there, then cut across and go through to Melbourne and spend a couple of, weeks or days in Melbourne, seeing my other brother and sister-in-law and my 2 nieces, spend some time there. And then the plan was to take a couple of months to go like hug the southern coastline of Australia and go all the way over to Western Australia, and then hug that coastline to go all the way up to northwestern Australia. That was kind of the plan, so that I would be in northwestern Australia by the time it got cold. Because in Australia, when it gets cold here, not that it gets that cold compared to, like snowy places around the world, but it does get chilly. I wanted to go north because that's where I was just going to chase the heat. However, now because we've been pushed back so far, I'm kind of debating, like, even if I left in March, would I go south or would I go north? Because if I go south, I'm then going to have like 2 months less to get all the way to the other side of Australia and, up in my kind of time frame. So now I'm kind of considering, well, maybe I will just kick it around here for a little bit longer, just do some trips to Gold Coast, do some trips to Sydney in the van, like really get a feel for it. And then maybe around like April, May time, that's when I'll set off and I'm going to hit the road and go all the way north. So now I'll start north and I'll take 2 or 3 months to get to northern Western Australia for the winter, because we have winter starts in like June, July time here. So from June, July, spend 6 months in the whole north of Australia, like going from east coast to west coast. And then summertime start coming south again, like start coming down and south and doing the whole trip. So that's kind of the plan. That's kind of where we're at with all of that. As far as I know, Australia have said that they're not opening their international borders until 2022. Which kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because I'm missing my friends overseas terribly. I desperately want to go back to the UK and to Canada and to the US and to see all my friends all around the world. But it looks like we will be stuck in Australia for a little while. So I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm going to take the 12 months to really, really enjoy and see this beautiful country, which I'm super excited about. So if you are listening and you have done it, if you've been to places in Australia, I mean, I've met people from overseas that have seen more of of Australia than I have. So if you've got places that you've been to that you'd love to share with me, I'd love to hear them. Or if you're doing van life and you listen to this, let me know, like, because we can connect. Like, you never know where we might run into each other along the road. So that's what I have for you today, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the van and the kind of plans that we're going through. Again, if you watch my Instagram, I do updates on there all the time of the van build and where we're going. And you can ask me questions on there that I'm happy to answer, you know, or if you wanted me to do another podcast or anything like that, please, please, please reach out and let me know. And then, yeah, you'll be able to follow this podcast and follow my journey once I do hit the road. I think it's going to be incredible, and I'm going to meet amazing people, see amazing places, and I cannot wait to take all of you along with me. So that's what I have for you today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know. Please shoot me a message and let me know if you did enjoy this, or if you screenshot that you're listening to it and post it to your stories and tag me. That will help me out so much with being able to share this podcast and help me grow. Like, you have no idea. So I would really, really appreciate it if you guys did that. But thank you so much for listening, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode of The Casey Way.